down with Winona country down there, so I have contacts here in the great state of Minnesota, and to me it's a pleasure being here today. Several things happened before I started my walk to make me look at my life and how I had, I was in the service from 76 to 80, so I was served with non-vets, and I was trained by them, and I give you my thanks as your brother for the service of your country, any of you veterans out there. So God bless you in your service. But many things happened in my life before I left that made me make a decision to start standing up for what I believe in. There's three things I believe very strongly in. One is God, my family, and my country. I've been watching politics since around 80 when I got back from Germany and Carter was still in, and boy, I tell you, I didn't like that at all. And but I've been watching politics all these years, and I've never been involved politically. I'm not running for office. I've never been to a Tea Party. I've been to a rally up in Fargo, but seeing the corruption and the special interest groups take over our country, it just made me sick. Because I think of our founding fathers and the principles they had when they built our country, and we're losing them day by day. And that's one reason I started my walk. I got angry and frustrated at what I was hearing on the newspapers, or reading in the newspapers, seeing on TV, hearing on the radio. And it just made me sick. And I saw a movie called Saving Private Ryan. At the end of that movie, when Captain Miller is dying on that bridge, and he calls down Ryan, or Ryan comes down, bends down to him, Captain Miller looks up at him and he says, earn this sacrifice I'm making for you, that you can live. You can go back to your family and your mother who already lost 3 sons. And the next scene, this is this Private Ryan, he was 74 years old, kneeling at Captain Miller's grave in France. And he was remembering what he went through in World War II. Now, I know this is somewhat fictional, but he looks up at his wife, he looks up at her and he says, please tell me I'm a good man. Tell me I've lived a good life. And I had to look at my own life when I heard that, and when I saw that in that movie. And I had to say to myself, you know, I've taken all my liberties for granted. When was the last time I stood up for what I believe in? It'd been a long, long time. The last time was when I was in the service with my brothers, and the pride I felt in serving our country. Now, I never saw a conflict, thank God, but I knew people who did. And it broke my heart when they came home from Vietnam and the way they were treated. And I thank God for our country and the way our soldiers are being treated when they come home from war right now. They're being treated with honor and respect. That's what every one of the Vietnam veterans or any veteran that has served for our country deserves. Honor and respect for what they sacrificed for us. And I say God bless them. I have had the honor and privilege to meet with several veterans on my walk already. I was in Kidder County, North Dakota, this side of Bismarck, and a gal was driving her vehicle with her daughter in the passenger seat, and she was going westbound and I'm walking eastbound. So I walked over to her and she rolled down her window and asked me why I'm walking with the American flag. I said I'm walking against the corruption in Washington, D.C., and I'm walking for the American veteran. And she started crying immediately when I said that. And she opened her door and jumped out and she said, "Can I give you a hug?" And I said, "Yeah." I didn't expect it. I didn't know what I was expecting, because I started my walk with anger and frustration at what I saw in our country. Well, I talked with her for about 10 to 15 minutes alongside the road. And she looked down at her wrist and she pulled this bracelet off. She told me, "I've never had this off since the day I got it." She said, "I want you to take this bracelet. And you remember the boy that was on this, whose name is on this bracelet, when you get to Washington, D.C. And right then, without reading it, my anger and my frustration went away, and the pride of the pride I feel for America came back into my life. It no longer became me, about me, or about my walk. It became about the American people.
Yeah.
It became about the veterans. I'm going to read this right now, and I want you to remember the sacrifice this boy made. He was only 22 years old when he was killed in Iraq. PFC John D. Amos II, Gimlet Brothers, in our hearts always. C Company 1st and 21st Infantry Battalion, 4 April 2004, Kirkuk, Iraq. And I'm here to remember him, as well as all the other veterans who sacrificed their lives or their bodies or their families for our country. God bless you, and God bless our soldiers. And I have run into people all across North Dakota and down through Minnesota. Now, when was the last time that you can think that you saw somebody walking alongside the road, whether they're walking with a flag or something else, and somebody stopped and talked to you just to ask you what you're doing there? I've had so many people in North Dakota and Minnesota stop alongside the road and talk to me about God, talk to me about our country, and talk to me about our veterans, and I have shed more tears in the last month and a half alongside these roads out here that I walk on than I have in the last 10 years. And it gives me pride to know these people and meet these people, because it tells me that the pride of the American people is still alive. Woo! We need to stand up for what we believe in. We can no longer sit by and let these professional politicians take our freedoms away.
Yeah.
We cannot let political correct speech take over our lives and say we cannot say what we want. I'm tired of it. Enough is enough. And it's time. It's time. It's time. Say it with me. It's time. It's time. It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's
For us
time.
to stand for what we believe in. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful. All right, folks.